Okay, this was going to be a problem. Trucking guys have left. I signed for a cart. And as I peel this onion, or remove the cardboard, I start to uncover the damage. Evidently, somehow, some way, this cart had, the way it was packed, wasn't all that great, had shifted, moved, what have you. I don't know the actual dynamics, the physics involved, what have you, but the first thing I uncover is damage, bent metal, and I have the pictures here to prove it. What good that proof would be later on, well, guess what? It would be no help, except to remind me of something that I did, which was a big mistake. And be that as it may, I had this damaged cart. But I figured, I had talked to Ben early on, not that day, but back a couple of weeks before this, and he seemed like a nice guy. But most salespeople are like that. As they're pulling you in, and anybody can remember that when you deal with buying a car from a car dealer, when you first show up there, they'll give you everything. They'll promise you the world. They'll make sure that it has all, and you then cut a check, or the bank, or wherever, they get their money. You show up, you get your car, they're still smiling. But the minute you leave that dealership and anything goes wrong with that car, yeah, you get it. So same thing was applying here. When I said that Ben was great and he seemed really personable and you could get along with him and you could get what you know, yeah, he's a salesperson, folks. He was going in for the kill. Sure, he's going to tell you anything you want to hear, but nothing you can do. And I'm not going to sit here and bellyache over it, because this was a lesson that I learned the hard way. Damaged cart, pictures prove it, nothing I can do except go back to one of the things that my buddy Ted was saying: when you have these obstacles, head down, plow forward. Well, that day, I just felt like putting my head into a wall. I did not feel good. Be that as it may, I had a hot dog cart sitting at my feet, and I had to make the best of it. And that's what I would do. I would do the best I could with what I was handed. And there is nothing, all the complaining, all the crying, all the bitching, and everything you want to call it, in the world was not going to change the fact that this is what I was dealt. And now, work with it, go forward, make the best of it. And there you go. And that's what I did. So here it is. We have a hot dog cart now that I need to move forward. Stop dwelling in the self-pity and oh, poor me and all this and everything. That's not going to get you anywhere. You know, you could do that in many aspects in life. So what you do is you pretty much reassess everything you have at your feet. So in my case, what I did was I started to look at the various pieces that I had to put this, thing together. This, I'm going to call it my future. Put it together. What's going to happen here, and how difficult this is going to be, and where are the assembly instructions? I didn't even find those yet. That's so funny, but it wasn't like it was a major undertaking to build this thing from the ground up. I mean, for the most part, it was there. And the pictures here will just show you what I was dealing with and so on. And you'll see there was a protective covering on part of it. So at least they took that into consideration. So it didn't get scratched or whatever. And stainless, believe it or not. But again, you look at the damage, you figure out, how do I get past that? And that's what you do with pretty much any aspect in life. You know, you're dealt a blow and you go, oh my God, and you reel back a little bit, but you now go forward. And that's what I wanted to do. So with all the pieces that I had to put together, I had to look at it, and in the bigger picture was, this is my future I was putting together. And there was a lot that was going to happen. But one of the things I also wanted to talk about here, folks, is really something simple. While I was putting together this whole idea, and I had talked about how I came up with the name and everything, and one thing I really wanted to cover and give a special thanks to, I've mentioned Ted Fox and numerous times throughout these videos, but if it wasn't for that gentleman, that would not exist, okay? That logo was, Ted has a natural talent. He's very good at drawing, and as I am as well, but the thing was, he started to come up with ideas on his own. And he would bring him into work, and I would look at him, and this caught my eye. I mean, I was like, wow. It just, the concept and everything like that. And if I can, I'll share with you the various stages that we went through, because he was really, again, I've said this throughout these videos, that he's pretty much been a driving force behind all of this. And I can't say thank you enough to this gentleman, what he did to propel me forward and get into this. However you want to look at it, whether he was living vicariously or how, it doesn't matter. The point was, this is the kind of person you want in your corner. Because when things were going the wrong way, he had a tendency to right the ship, so to speak, get you back on track. And but the logo thing, it's just that it just blew me away. And what it was is, when it finally came down to the final draft of what it was, I then enlisted the aid of a professional graphic designer to tighten it all up, put it all together. But the concept, the idea, everything, Ted Fox, fantastic. And that's it. That's never going to change, as far as I can tell. I mean, why should I? When you say, when something ain't broke, don't fix it, well, that's not broke. Far from it. That is one of the, it's just fantastic. I can't say enough about it. And once again, thank you, Ted. You did a lot to get this whole venture off the ground, and I look forward to working with you in the future. But what I'm going to do is pretty much wrap this up right now for today. And thank you all once again for stopping by, and we'll see you next time on Mike and the Mad Dogs.